Well, as I say, it was built 1729. It was part of a scheme called the 50 Churches Act. So in 1711, there had been a decision to try and build a lot more churches. And part of it was to show these, all these foreigners coming over, what a proper church should look like. So if you compare this one, which is very large, very imposing, compared to, the one at the other end of Fournier Street that we looked at in part 2. You compare it to that, or the synagogue, which was previously a church that we looked at in part 1 in Sandys Row. This is much bigger. And basically this was making a statement to all these people with their, they had their own faiths that they brought with them. But essentially this was the British saying, well, our God is bigger than your God. And an easy way of saying that is to build a much more impressive church. And this one was built by a guy called, or designed by a guy called Nicholas Hawksmoor. He was a disciple of Christopher Wren, and he only built a handful of churches. I'm not sure if that's because he died or whatever. I'll have to look into that. But there is a lot of mythology about Hawksmoor. I was reading a book just called Hawksmoor, but there has been this sort of myth that he was into, mystical things, and his churches are filled with Masonic symbols and all the rest of it. And it's been sort of postulated and then sort of grown, but I'm not sure how much there is to it. As well as that, if you look at the 6 churches that he built across London and you would draw lines between them, it becomes a pentagram, which is a satanic symbol, and all that sort of stuff. And that's why Jack the Ripper was drawn to this area. And basically it's what I would sort of gently call woo-woo. Lots of sort of mysticism and hot air, which I'm not really into. But that is Christchurch Church.